Alright, what up YouTube? It's the Nice Tank here, back with another video. And this video is gonna be about for one, I just want to say this quick thing real quick. I've been reading this book called, I don't know if y'all, it's gonna be backwards. It might be backwards on the screen, but it's called The Black Art of War, Hannibal's 99 Truths by James W. Peterson III. Now, this book I've been reading, I ain't gonna lie, it's not a book. It's like a compilation book. It's just a book full of quotes, but it's from like all type of sources and from all type of people and media and things like that, and just all across history, war leaders, you know, activists, sports athletes, poets. And I ain't gonna lie, that's where I got this idea of the video from. It's called "A Skin Can Cut 1,000 Times, Eventually Heals, but Honor Wounded, but Once Never Heals." And it's something I found in this book that really spoke volumes to me. And I was just thinking about making a video on it real quick about it. And I got also with this book, I'm gonna do a whole, I guess I'm gonna do like a whole, not a breakdown, but I'm gonna do like a lot of my favorite excerpts, not excerpts, but like truths, and also just the quotes I find. And I'm gonna find a lot of good ad quotes, and it just help with purifying your mind and really just changing your perspective. Like as a recent, I just been reading books, and all of these books, like it's one of them a spiritual book, the other one is, like I said, this book, other one about Osho, and then the last one I was reading is the Meditations. And a lot of that type of stuff just put a lot of things in perspective, and it really calms you down and calms your nerves down and allow you to really start seeing things from different angles. And it's very soothing in a way. Like I said, it's soothed. Like when I started reading them, I'm like, damn, like I was upset about some things, and ever since then I've just been mellow out. Like of course, these type of things I've been putting myself around all my life, or not all my life, but always seeing quotes about, you know, like philosophy. I follow them type of pages on Instagram and just YouTube, and I just like watching them, just because I'm interested. And I just like seeing that type of stuff. I'd rather have that on my feed, and you know, than just some degenerate shit on my feed all day, like I said, and just be controlling my desires and pulling my desires and temptations. And I'd just rather not have that, see that type of stuff on my feed. So I fill it with just information about or philosophy and just philosophical ideas or just spirituality. I'd rather see that all day than that. And also, like I said, when I go back to social media for real, I'm probably clearing out a lot of my social media BS. So, yeah. But yeah, from the book, it was like a skin, like I said, a skin cuts 1,000 times, eventually heals, but a wound, said honor wounded, never heals. I think that's something that I think a lot of people need to really like get under that skin and under your, like, let that replay in your mind a couple times, like, and really understand that. I think that a lot of times, like, I know we hear the term like death before dishonor, like, you know, and I think that's always, it sounds like, I ain't like a coat fire as hell, death before dishonor. That's like some shit you should get tatted, but I don't know, it's odd, but it's just like, you should never let your honor, your integrity, your self-respect, you should never compromise that for anything. All the way to your death. It's like almost in a way like you should be protecting your reputation at all costs. I think that your honor, your respect, and all that tap into your reputation. I think that you should never not conquer, but allow that to be tampered with, messed with, or even just put below anything. And I'm only, like I said, I think that the thing about this book is that when you read it in a way, it triggers you, right? It triggers you to take you back to moments in your life where, or just books, period. Like, but I think that's the one good thing about reading, is that when you read books, you start to see how your life connect to it and how the parallels in everybody's life. I think, in my opinion, I think it's realistic. It's only really like one person or two people on the planet. It's the positive person, it's the negative person, but all people had like the same storyline. The only thing is different is the story, the situation, and the story. I mean, the people and the specifics about the story, but all of it follow like a general pattern. And I think that's just my opinion, and I believe that's how it really is. And when you read books, you start to really, you know, cross-reference the books with your life. And I think that just a testament to your own evolution as a person. So reading this book, when I seen that, like I said, it just brought me back a lot of flashbacks in my life. I'm only 20, but like I said, it's just like, the thing about me, I'm very learning quick. I'm very quick to learn. I don't like to waste time. I hate wasting time. I hate doing things over again. I hate putting my time into something that was a waste. in terms of like mundane things. I'm about to say if I know that time is going, let's say with career and just making my life and moving my life forward, it's gonna be times where I don't know what I want to do, and I'm just gonna have to do what I can do until the time comes. So like right now, I'm working this regular job, but I know this regular job is not about to sustain me for the rest of my life. It's impossible. I know that without a shadow of a doubt. Like I said, that's that feeling in my body that I got, and I know that it's not what I'm about to do the rest of my life, but I'm about to ride it out and get as much as I can from it, and then, go on to the next step of the journey. But I forgot what I was about to say. But yeah, uh, you should never allow your honor, your respect, your self-respect to go in below anything. I think that a lot of my life, I've been living spineless. I've been living very much to the wills of other people. Like I said, I allow people to really point and push me where I'm supposed to be at. And I think a lot of that is just dealt with me and how I thought, or just having low self-esteem. I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not about to just blast myself and also just bash myself too, because I mean, I'm beyond that. And like I said, and everything happened for a reason. You gotta understand that some things work out the way it is for specific reasons so it can help you grow. And that's how I used to think, and I used to have like very low self-esteem, so I did certain things that was just like, wow, like me looking back at it, you look down on it, but now that I've grown and I start to understand it more, I look at it with compassion. I don't judge myself about it no more. I accept it as that's what I had to do. That's what Kevin had to do to get this understanding, and it allowed me to move forward with a better type of insight, greater insight on what I'm supposed to do. But let's say growing up, for an example, in high school, I did something that do I regret it? No, I don't really regret it, but it was just like, I was just very spineless. Like I said, I just let people walk all over me. I'm sitting there trying to think of a situation, but that wasn't the right situation. But it's been times where I just let myself be spineless, and my feelings was not taken into consideration, period. All my life, I just felt like that. And so when I finally started to come into consciousness, and I started to realize, like, damn, I've been the enemy of myself for so long. It's like I just had zero self-respect for myself, physically, emotionally, mentally. It's like I had zero self-respect for myself. It's like, and it stunned me for a long time. It kept me in the same spot for a long time. But trying to progress my life forward is that I had all these bad habits and had bad mental thoughts that it always kept me in the same position. In a way, it's bad karma, and I allowed that to keep me in the same position all my life. And what I had to do to really get over that was a lot of forgiving and a lot of just speaking to myself. Like, I think that you gotta really learn how to self-talk, like really talk to yourself and really push yourself through tough times. But you really gotta get rid of a lot of that negativity in your mind from the lack of like self-respect you deemed on yourself, or the amount of disrespect you deemed, or you rewarded to yourself. I think in many ways, like I think like the idea like you can lie to everybody else, but you can't lie to yourself. It's like, that like people be knowing that they lame in their heart, or people be knowing that they weird in their heart, or not even weird. People be knowing that they corny in their heart. People be knowing that they are really like bad people in their heart. So when they try to tell people that, when they try to, in a way convince somebody else that they not a bad person, it's like in their heart they know they are. So it's no, what I'm trying to say, it's hard for them to really like move forward, because like in their heart they know that like they are really a bad person, and they really have a lot of guilt and shame that's like latched on to them. And for a long time in my life, that's how I felt. And I just felt that in regard, but I just felt very lame. I just felt very lame because I had low self-esteem. I wasn't cool with nobody. For the longest time, I wasn't cool with nobody. I didn't start getting cool until I was in my late years of high school. And even then, I was still lame. I mean, and not lame in the sense of like people be doing lame stuff, but I was lame in the sense of like I was a loser type of lame all my life. And it's not it's not funny, but it's not a good feeling. It's hard to really, at times, I be like, the thing about me, it's hard for me to really grasp that concept of me being lame. Like, it's hard for me to really, like, it's very hard for me to really like just grasp that, because like every day, like when I came to like to spirituality, I felt myself changing so like rapidly. It's like I'm a new person every day. I feel like a really like new person every day. Of course, I keep like the same principles and ideas and goals and motives, but I just feel like a new person every day. So when I look at my younger years, I feel like that's 20 versions of me ago, and it's like it just don't resonate with me. And then I realized how much I blocked out when I was a kid, just from there's a lot of trauma. Of course, I wasn't like severely traumatized, but it's just that those like a lot of my childhood years were just the worst years of my life, and it's just very interesting to see that. But yeah, you gotta learn how to forgive yourself. You gotta learn how to, of course, honor wounds. I don't think they really heal back down. They never really heal back the same. I think that one thing that I hate and I won't never allow like to happen now is like to me to be like manipulated. Like I hate that. Like it's because I've been manipulated too many times in my life, and it's like when did get manipulated, it's like I seen it, but I allowed it, and every time I allowed it, it was like that tally getting made. Like let's say if it was a good version of myself and like an evil version of myself. Every time I allowed it, it was like fueling more hate for my evil side of myself, to really hate myself and really just not like myself, and really just it just made my low self-esteem even stronger. And that type of stuff just caused stagnant, just energy, and just caused me not to move forward. And those, if I'm being honest, those times been like the most miserable times of my life. And like I said, as long as I'm moving forward now, I really don't want any of that type of stuff back in here. Because if I'm being honest, even though I was very positive, I was a very hopeful kid, I as a kid, I was depressed severely. I was lonely severely. I was not okay to the 10th degree, to the 10th power. I was not okay. And I don't know how I was acting like I was okay all the time, but it was just maybe because nobody really cared or nobody had nobody around me, but that's just how I maneuvered. And that's how I was able to really, that's how I think I got used to just being by myself all the time. That's one way. I know people be trying to say like, oh, it's okay to be alone now, but I think a lot of people use that aloneness as like a way to guard off from the world. And to an extent, I think it's acceptable, but I think that people find comfort in them like by themselves, but also it's a very strong hindrance that people need to learn how to be able to conquer, in my opinion. But yeah, if y'all like the video, like, comment, subscribe. I might do another video on this in the future. Like I said, I think this is just me just going off the top and just really just ranting, just talking really. And I know I want to go deeper, but I ain't write nothing for this one, for this video, like no notes on it. So yeah, if y'all like the video, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Thank you.